Hey guys, it's Jay with Columbus Car Audio, and today I'm here with a legend, Mr. Rick Hockey. He's been with us. Dude, are you is it you or Godwin? Who's been here longer?
There's 2 or 3 of us about the same time.
Yeah. When did you start?
Summer of 1994.
Okay. And so, did you start at Morse Road?
Yeah, I started at Morse Road. We were in the little red house, as we called it.
Which is now it's a barber shop now. It's so funny to think about where this place has gone. I mean, again, the red house, so in the red house was before my time, but I mean, I remember pictures and stuff like that. And then I remember when we had the White House beside it, which at the time, I don't know if you did or not, in the wholesale garage. So at the red house, did you install in the wholesale garage, or was there a separate area?
No, I actually started as a salesman.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a salesman for 3 years. Probably the first 3 years I was in sales.
I had no idea. You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I had no clue. So who did you work with back then?
The brand new store manager, Todd Hayes, hired me. And so Todd Hayes and me and a couple other people.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I had no idea. So when you started installing in '97, you said?
Yeah,
around there.
It's just 2 or 3 years, maybe more like 2 and a half years of sales, and I was such a good salesman that I didn't do it. I stopped. I was always more interested in the installation.
Well, and it's funny, over the years. I mean, when I got hired on, I didn't want to be a salesman.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody does, because the cool stuff happens in the back, and now, I mean, I've been doing this so long up front that I see both sides of it and I really like it. I know, my home is up front, obviously, but that's really cool. I had no clue.
Yeah.
So did you have a job before CCA?
Oh, man.
Life before CCA, do you remember that? Were you potty trained? Was it diapers or?
I had a high school job. I actually worked at Pizza Hut.
Okay.
And just was always doing stereos for friends, and I knew a couple of people that worked here. I went to school with a couple of people that worked here, and came up and they said, "Yeah, the quickest way to get in here would be to be a salesman." I just did that and watched and learned, and every once in a while, they let me in the garage. I'd tinker with something, do something, and that's how that all happened.
Gotcha. So were you? I know you said you did stereos and stuff. So your background, I mean, the stuff that you do with cars is unreal. I mean, whether it's audio or other, and we'll get to that in a second. But back then, was it just audio, or were you into the mechanics and the performance side of cars too?
It started with the audio.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I mean, the audio was the main entry into all that, and then just working on cars.
Yeah.
Progressed into the whole rest of the car.
Right. So, cars.
Mm-hmm.
Dream car.
Me?
What do you got? Yeah.
I've always been a fan of, I don't know why, I've always been a fan of European cars.
Yeah.
Volkswagens and things like that. I guess my dream car would be a 911.
Okay. Any year that stands out?
The newest one I can afford.
Okay, and so you get this newest one that you can afford, and money's no object at that point. I mean, what all gets done to it? Is it everything? Is it just a little bit?
Tasteful is the name of the game. It's got to be stereo amplifiers.
Yeah.
I really like good mid bass up front, good sound coming from the front. Subwoofers aren't really. I mean, they're a necessity, but it's not really critical.
Yeah.
To have very, very crazy bass.
Yeah.
Really nice component set up front. Big woofers in the door, as big as you can fit into the doors, woofer wise. I always loved the Corvettes with the 10s and the doors, whatever we did there. But big woofers in the doors and a single smaller, like an 8 or a 10 inch woofer.
It's funny, you know, over the years, I mean, everybody has their own taste of what sounds good. And I didn't get to work with you for the first half of my career here. But it is funny to me, you know, you talk about mid bass and woofers and the doors and the biggest you can get, how, I mean, over the years, I think everybody's taste changes in music, but I think you and I are a lot alike in what we like. You know, I love a lot of mid bass up front. The difference between me and you, and I remember you telling me this a while back, is you don't like a 3-way.
No,
You
no.
prefer a 2-way more than a 3-way.
Yeah, I think it's everybody's ears are different.
Oh, absolutely.
Mine, it's ringy. It's,
Yeah.
You know, the higher mid range is just it's just sometimes can be too much.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think, you know, it amazes me that when you do a front stage with a nice mid bass driver,
Mhm.
the difference you get in sound. I mean, you know, just like the portion you did yesterday. I mean, when you cut, even granted it had a small sub in it, but even with that sub off, it sounded great. It was so full. It was that was awesome.
Good speakers.
Yeah.
Those Hertz speakers, those Hertz 6.5s, installed well.
Yeah.
They'll go pretty low.
Well, and that's, you know, that's one of the things too that people don't realize. It's so much more than, okay, well, I'm gonna buy these speakers and I'm gonna buy these $5,000 speakers because they're the best, and I'm just gonna screw them into this metal door and call it. Oh, why didn't it sound as good as it did in the store? You know, there's so much more with the sound deadening and all that stuff that goes into it. The installation really goes into it, and you know,
It's at least as important, if not more important.
I mean, I kind of feel over the years I've kind of went 80-20. I think it's 80% install, 20% product.
Even more.
I think so, yeah. I mean, because if you buy the best stuff and it's installed poorly, it sounds like crap.
Waste of money.
You know, if you buy good stuff and it's installed properly, it sounds amazing. It takes a whole lot more work to get it there, but you know. So what's one of your favorite? I mean, you, in my mind, you're a legend because I just know some of the stuff that you've done, and it just it's amazing work. So what is? I know what one of my favorites is of yours, but what's one of your all-time favorite installs that you've done? Do you have one?
There's a couple that stick out. The one that always comes back is
Probably the one I'm thinking of.
Silver Navigator.
Yeah.
There was a Silver Navigator. The guy was not afraid to spend money,
And it
he
showed.
And he had time, and yeah, he got pretty much everything. Acrylic, full acrylic enclosure, 3 woofers. At the time, you know, the biggest amp we sold, 1,000 batteries, and big TV screen in the middle of the front seats.
I remember the first time I saw that. It was one of those things that it's probably like art, you know. I think people look at paintings and like it takes them a while to dissect everything that was there. But I remember looking at that and just thinking about like the fit and finish, and it was as close to perfect as I've ever seen. And not to give you a big head or anything, because you got to fit through that door later, but
I try.
it was, you know, just the form fit, everything was just perfect at the end of it, and it sounded good. You know, it looked nice. It was over the top, but it was so tasteful that, you know, I remember we had a show at our West store, and everybody, you know, he opened that up and everybody loved it. It was, you know, the bass head, the hot rod guy, like everybody could look at that car and just. There was a connection with it, you know, and that's the coolest part about this is you guys really are artists back there in what you do, and you know I try and as a salesperson up front, you know I have to paint the picture, and I have to get somewhat of an idea, but I really feel, and you know this, I mean the best way to do it is just let you guys go at it, and look, here you go, this is when it needs to be done, this is how much we have, you know, this is what they want.
I look at it as more of a collaboration, you know.
Yeah.
Salesmen, we're all super knowledgeable, so I really don't ever discount anything a salesman's going to say. So I do always like collaborating with the salesman and the customer, and you know my own fingerprint on it. Yeah. But everybody's got to be involved. You know, the guy, to a certain extent, if the customer just drops their keys off and walks away, you know. Yeah. If I see the passion in the customer, that's what gets me.
Well, right, because I think it fuels the fire for us. You know, I think back to a job that was just shipped not too long ago, and it was the first time in so long that the guy was like, he was so pumped. We're sitting there listening to different music, and it was like, do you have time for? Let's just listen to one more song. I'm like, heck yeah, you know. And the guy's just got this toothy ear to ear grin, and that to me, that's what this is all about. So that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely. I know you've got a bunch of projects at home. So what's going on with the Volkswagen at home? Are we going to see a resurrection?
Yeah. I had my pride and joy, my unicorn back in the day, as they call it. I wrecked it a few years ago and just bought a replacement for it, and it's pretty rough. But hopefully, if I get enough time, spare time, free time, whatever, bring it back. That was my favorite thing. It was like you said, it was fast and loud. It had like that Navigator was the total package. Engine, interior, everything was clean. Stereo sounded great. Yeah, it'd be nice to bring that thing back to life.
Yeah. So you've been here a long time, and I know there might have been some pranks and things that we've done over the years. After hours or whatever, never during store hours. But what's one of your favorite? Do you have a favorite prank or story from the garage that you can share? Keep it PG-13.
Firecrackers come to mind.
Yeah.
We rigged up. We're all electronics tinkerers, so we rigged up a remote setup to ignite some firework from some firecrackers. I don't know.
And now I know out west, the firecrackers were always in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just.
Man, I don't know. I try to forget all that. I don't know.
Yeah. So, man, being here as long as you have, that's saying something. First of all, for about you and your personality.
Yeah.
What the heck keeps you into this? What keeps you going?
I don't know. If I try to think too much, but I think it's pretty simple. Like this is what I want to do. This is my vocation. This was my college.
Yeah.
I was high school age when I started working here, and I think, do I go to college? What do I do? Work here, making pretty good money for a high school graduate, or just freshly graduated high school. And so I was like, I just made this my career, my vocation.
Yeah.
So, and if you pick something to do, here we go. Ready? If you pick something to do, do you want to work at second best? Do you want to work at where do you want to? If you pick a job to do, where do you want to work at? Do you want to work at the best place?
I want to be the best. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was never really. If there was ever any place that was better than this, like as far as quality and people that work there and things like that, then I would have left. But the 20 years, no business in town has ever been able to beat us.
No.
And it's cool to be part of us.
It's amazing.
Team,
and over the years I've been I do a lot with other sales guys in the industry across the nation, and it's amazing to me the clout. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use. The clout that Columbus Car Audio has. I mean, nobody. It's shocking to me that I know in this area there's not other shops like this, but even across the nation, like when you look at Columbus Car Audio as a whole, in the amount of business that we do, in the way that we do things, and the clientele that we have, all of that, like there's not a lot of that out there. I mean, I can think of maybe a dozen and a half stores total in the United States that I think are like us. It's shocking to me. And then, so, again, you've been doing this since cassette players and CD changers. So how do you keep up with the evolving times with the technology and stuff in the cars? I mean, cars are so much different now than even what they were, when you started and I started.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you have to. It's if it's your passion, you just cheesy. You live it. It is. It's something. It's a hobby. They tell you always do what you love as a job, and you'll never work a day in your life. You ever heard that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like I live that.
It can either
days.
It can either make you hate what you love,
Yeah.
or you can embrace it utilize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just staying passionate about it. I haven't been able to do as much, time wise and family or whatever. I haven't been able to do as much training, things like that. But CCA has always had, the knowledge fest and all that time. We've always been strong.
Yeah, and I think that's huge, and that's what's really helped us stay afloat. I think back to when times were tough, and I look at other shops that have come and gone over the years. There's another one that was really big. About the time I started, they had went away. But I look at that and I think that's huge. That Columbus Car Audio has always they've always given us every resource to learn.
Yeah.
They're always about if it's a book you want to read, if it's an event you want to attend, if it's a training that makes sense, we're going to look at it and we're going to do what we can to get you there and get that. And I think it shows, with the staff. We bring guys in. I mean, that we bring guys in that are new and maybe don't know, but we train. We work with them hand in hand to get them.
Yeah, if they're not passionate, they don't last.
And that's the thing. I mean, and I've said that for years. I don't want to hire somebody that's been in this business forever if they don't have the passion anymore. I want to hire somebody that is into this is what they want to do.
Yeah.
I don't need a guy that is just looking for a job.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, my client, that's not the service that we've brought.
Yeah.
That's not what we've all built over the years to become. And so it's tough finding that, but when you do, man, it's like you want to hold on to it, So, all right, well, cool. That's about it, man. If you guys have any questions, feel free to stop in, email us, call us. You can still use the phone. You can always look us up online, Facebook, YouTube, ColumbusCarAudio.com, all that. So thanks again, guys. Have a good one.